Hey, this is Kaizoku Uncharted. We're a couple of siblings to the vastly of anime. If you think this is the crew for you, set sail with us each week. I'm Jakia.
And Justin. And we didn't forget, we're talking Shangri-La.
Season 2. Yep.
I guess it is technically season. Okay. So Shangri-La. How to jump into this? I love it. I want to start there.
Okay.
But I like the information we get.
We got a lot of information.
I like the first time when we were introduced to the real world, you know, when they were like the people behind Shangri-La. I was like, okay, like that's all I need to know. So there's a plan here. We're doing stuff. With that being said, this game is life consuming.
Yes, it is.
Okay, this is taking away people's lives. Basically, if you don't get hooked on it, you can live like a normal life. Like the main character's sister, apparently she has no never mind to want to play these games. You know, she is living her day-to-day life. Looks like she's got a part-time job. She's worried about fashion.
I mean, well, I think that's just going back. Like his whole family has a thing. Each of them have their own obsessions.
True.
And so it's like, hey, once a week we gotta like have family time.
Hey,
yeah.
Sometimes that's needed.
It's needed, yeah.
Now, we do go ahead and get... Okay, so I know we meet that professor person.
It was crazy. We ended up making up a whole new alliance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I forgot that our name was Wolfgang. I forgot that.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, me too.
Now, we went ahead. We had got a recap. But like for the whole season 2, before season 2. So what does core 2 mean? Was that like the part 2 of it? Okay, got it. But like you said, we go ahead. We start a whole new alliance, which I'm not a fan of.
I'm not a fan of this either.
Now, why aren't you a fan of it?
I'm not a fan of it because it's like... I'm not a fan because it's basically the alliance is like at the expense of Sunraku and his information. And like, even though I love Pencilgon's working my nerves. Because like, in the sense of like, she's too greedy for like money and stuff. Where it's like, she's just taking the little bits of information that Sunraku has shared with her. And she's freely sharing it with the other people.
Freely?
Well, willy-nilly. Like, she's like, hey, I'm down to sell you this information.
Yeah, game.
If we're in this thing. But it's just like, she's promising all this stuff. But it's just like, Sunraku hasn't told you that he's down to share all this information. Because, like, his end goal is like, he's selfish in his own way, where he's just like, I'm just trying to be the only one experiencing these unique scenarios.
I love their dynamic.
Okay.
Because Wolfgang is all about... They're gamers.
Yeah, no, they're proper gamers. Yeah.
You know, so... And they're each trying to one-up the other. So, yeah, they're selling little... And it's almost like, I think for the most part, they know each other's traits. They all want to have one up on the other. But at the same time, it's like, okay... I'm going to give you a little bit. And Pencilgon advances by trade and moving up in the shadows or corrupt ways. Sunraku is like, die hard. How can I beat this way? Katsu is similar, but he's a perfectionist. And I'm just like, I'm okay with how their dynamic is. But the reason I couldn't stand the alliance is only because of Oh, I guess
the zoo people.
I guess SF just stands for Shangri-La Frontier.
Yeah.
The zoo people suck.
They do, and we see that later.
Yeah, the zoo people suck. Like, they're harassing us about Emil. You know, get your own scenario.
Absolutely, just go.
Freaking zoo freaks.
Like, if you want to go to Rabituza, you can do it too. Like, get out of here.
I can't stand their leader. It's just like, I'm just gonna call him the zoo freak from now on.
Okay.
Just so we know. I'm okay with the professor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like, hey, don't be asking me all these questions. But I understand he has a goal in mind. Right. And their goal is
to learn as much as
the learn of the world.
Yeah, the lore of the world. Absolutely.
You know? Now, and they have information. Yeah. So they're bringing something to the table.
They do.
You know, Schwartzwolf, whatever their stupid clan is. With Zero,
Saiger Zero.
Yeah, with Saiger Zero in it. I don't really care for their clan too much, but it's like, if you're bringing something to the table, I can deal with it. I can work with you. I don't know what Zoo brings. So when we're making this alliance, it's like, what are you bringing? Maybe numbers? Like, I don't have time for your games. You know, you're losers. Now, you know, later on, before Core 2 happens, when, you know, we do find out SLF Zoo, they've found a way to track down the Lycagon. And I was just like, okay, that would have been good to know
earlier.
A part of the alliance. Right. You know, like...
That's true, because they withheld information.
Yeah, like, we're all withholding some type of information.
Right,
maybe except for the professor.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, but they didn't really share anything. Nothing. They didn't share anything.
And they let me make sure about this. Because is that before or after? But we find out about so we know that there are 7 Colossi. We beat Weathermall. The other information, or the other Colossi we have info or discovered about, are, I don't even know how to pronounce that one, of the Abyss.
The Cartoonate of the Abyss. The Lycagon, the Night Slayer.
We know of Lycagon.
And then we're introduced later to Sigworm, the Sky Ruler.
Yeah, we're told their name. And then there's also Orchestra, the Doomed Echo. And you know, that's why I was like, okay, we get all this information from the professor just 3 episodes into the 2nd season. I'm like, that's how you open up a season. Give me some stuff. Like, what are we aiming for?
What are we doing?
Exactly. And then after that, you know, we got some basic gaming. And, you know, I was a little upset.
Okay.
Because, you know, we end up taking a break from the game. And we start playing another game. And I was just like, okay. What are we really doing here, Shangri-La? Because I thought it was a cop-out at first. At first, I was just like, all right, we got to really... I wrote down, okay, we really got to ask ourselves as fans. Was this a cop-out? Basically, spent 3 episodes on another game. Like, we got to really think about it.
I was annoyed by this. I said, why are we here? Why are we here for real?
So...
I was like, I don't care what's going on in Nephilim Hollow. Like, what's going on? I was like, I don't care. I'm like, I understand as a gamer, sometimes you need to put one game down, play another one, get some ideas. Not a problem. But I didn't need to see it.
Yeah, I didn't need this.
I didn't need that. I didn't need that at all.
So I was a little annoyed by that. Now,
yes.
There was now we find out after 3 episodes, there was a reason behind this. We have a trade.
Yes.
Rust and them have info on the unique monster, Catchrid of the Abyss. So I was like, and they want info on the robots. And I was like, okay, there was something to this at least.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay. And then that's when they tease us that somebody worthy has challenged Sigwig, the Sky Ruler. And we are introduced to a Taskune? I don't know.
Oh, Akane?
Oh, is that what we're just calling her? Oh, that's easier.
Yeah.
Akane. That sounds easier.
Yeah, Akane, and then Akane is accompanied by Emil's brother, Serik? What's his name? Seacrew? What is it? Yeah, Seacrew. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that made me have like an idea of like how many, because like since Emil has so many siblings,
right?
I was like, does that mean that there's a possibility for multiple characters to be having these unique scenarios in Rabituza with each sibling as their guide? Because I'm just like, okay, because I'm like, Sunraku can't be the only one.
I feel like it's automatically yes.
Okay.
Because the keyword unique has to mean there's not several emails.
Right.
So.
But I'm just saying a unique scenario with Rabituza.
Yeah, so because they started saying how some people already knew about Rabituza, so there must be people there. So I'm more concerned about, is there actually a tie to the siblings in the 7 Colossi?
Okay, that's a thought.
Because we already know the dad, Vash, had a connection with Weathermon.
That's true.
Sigwig is apparently tied to Akane and the brother who's supposed to be the new king.
Right.
So does that mean, is Emil tied to the Lycagon unique scenario? Or is Lycagon just a roaming Colossi? And if that's the case, then we'll find out who she is really tied to. Do we also meet other characters who are going to be tied to other siblings? Who, and go that route.
Right.
And the only reason I have some trepidation on that is because we found out about the unique scenario from Rust about the something in the abyss, and that has nothing to do with any Rabituza person. So that was the only reason why I feel like that shoots down my theory.
Well, no, I thought at that moment, when they were on the ship and stuff, that Emil was like, oh my gosh, it's one of the things. Or she knew, because she kind of had an idea what was happening. But just to like prove your point with the 7 Colossi, like they have a level of understanding and awareness of when they're in close proximity to one.
Fair enough. Now, the rest of season 2. Which I was okay how the season part 1, I guess. I was okay how the season ended. It basically ends with stupid Zoo tracking down Lycagon. We were just...
They got destroyed.
Well, at first, we were just in that area...
minding our own business.
Trying to defeat a boss.
Trying to get out of here.
To go to that one port town. We took a wrong way.
We did. Because we got lost.
And it was just like, they were ready to throw down with us. And I was just like, let's do it. I was like, let's dance. I'm like, we got Psychos here on our team, and we got us. I'm like, let's go. I'm like, do y'all really want to get this PK penalty? Like, if y'all want to fight us, like, let's do this then.
I mean, listen.
It's like, you freaking Zoo. But yes, apparently they wanted us out the area because they tracked down Lycagon's movements. And at first I was just like, oh wow, Zoo can throw a little bit? Because Zoo pinned down the Lycagon. I was like, wow, really? And then immediately I was like, all right, nope. Zoo just got wiped out.
Yeah, they immediately got destroyed.
And then we started to learn stuff.
Yes, we learned a lot about Lycagon.
Is the night.
Yes.
And moves with the darkness.
Absolutely. One with the shadows.
And that makes sense because when we went back and how we got our legs chopped off, basically.
Yeah.
And it was just like, where'd that attack come from?
And now we know.
Now, we had a choice. It's like, do we sit here and fight or what? And we started to fight them. And then we found out this is Cyber Zero's 4th time fighting a Lycagon, the Night Slayer. I was like, oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay. We find out Ree has an ultimate skill, but the requirements are
very
hit
high.
5 times each with the 2 certain attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So once we find all that out, that's basically how that season ends. Mm-hmm. And then the current season is, Core 2. So it's like, should we talk about Core 2 on this one? Or do we include it in, I guess we could talk about it in this one.
Yeah, we'll talk about this one.
And then on the next time the current drops.
We can,
all right.
yeah.
All right, so, other than that, I realized it was the next part of it when they gave us that new intro.
Good intro.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good intro.
I'm a fan.
Oh, yeah. I was just like, who is this? I was like, okay.
I had so many questions.
Absolutely.
I was like, who are these 2 people?
I never replayed the intro so quickly in my life to be like, what happened?
Right.
Who are these people?
And then there was like, who are these 3 people?
Right.
Then there's a whale. I was like, what are we doing?
Immediately needed some answers.
I need time. So yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that's all. Okay. So Akane shows up. Akane was that trash player, or was the new player in that trash game.
Right.
With the glitching. And I was like, yo, that's what's up. I was like, all right, okay, there's a reason why we're going to these other games.
It's
I'm
true.
like,
I was like, maybe that's why.
Cool.
Because we're only going to get fanatics who are going to be able to do the job.
Hey, yeah, we're going to need real gamers.
Right.
For some of this. But some of the highlights of this current season. Mm-hmm. Ree or Size Zero's finisher Armageddon, that thing looks ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
I was just like, okay, cool. I know I'm jumping a bit, but
go ahead, jump away.
When we get reintroduced to the real world again, mm-hmm. we find out that this lunatic increased Lycagon's abilities.
It's true.
It wasn't something that happened.
I know. I love how the guy was like, I'm prepared. I'm ready today. I got a full jar of my digestive.
Yeah. He had a hard stomach.
And he went in there, guns blazing, like, hey, cut it out. And then he was like, no, we're fine. We're keeping it classy. And then the other lady was like, but who increased the intelligence of it? And she was like, I had to. And then immediately hands went swinging. They were just swinging hands.
Listen, as they should. Because, yeah, he had an idea. As a real gamer, he's like, hey, this is the pattern. So we're ready for it. And then we find out, that's why he said these cheating admins. She's over here making Lycagon even smarter. And I wonder if that's going to be a detriment to them. Because what if they give Lycagon so much intelligence? Now Lycagon is going to be the main Colossi.
I feel like it is. I feel like it's now at a point where it's like technically the strongest and smartest one. Because the fact that Lycagon had us fighting 2 of its shadows.
Right.
While it's like further away.
Literally in the clouds.
Literally for miles. And we're just like, I was shocked.
So yeah, we end up beating the doubles, mm-hmm. the clones, the shadow clones.
Yeah.
Of the Lycagon. And then we get a new title. Mm-hmm. Shadow Wolf Revealer. We got a special status, Guiding Light. I was like, okay, so that wasn't the real version of Lycagon.
Right.
It looked like it was about to all be over. Some mini Lycagon heads showed up.
Yeah, I was just like, is this it for us after all that work?
I was like, good. It's like we can finally put on armor. We'll be done with this. But it eats us, and it makes the markings basically stronger.
It does. And now, we can put on equipment, but not for long.
Right. I think he had tested.
He timed it for 3 minutes.
It's not enough time.
It's definitely not enough time.
But I like the fact that we had tried the robot armor. We were able to try the head at least. Mm-hmm. We had got the riding steed. It seemed to be like a flying whatever.
Something.
So I'm like, okay, so we're going to be able to use all of this. Also, what does this mean? Are we going to give Rust a robot? This is all a part of Russ's trade. Russ wanted to know about robots in this game.
Right.
So it's like, what's going to happen here?
I mean, he's not giving nothing up for inventory. I feel like that's the one thing that Pencilgon and Katsu and Sunraku are the same page about. That like no one can know about this inventory space.
I'm also surprised he didn't get more reactors made. I mean, it's a joint space for all of them to use.
Yeah, but the other two aren't really utilizing it, which is kind of annoying.
Well, they're not utilizing it because we've been tasked with the job to try to figure out the core to be able to use it. Like, they've looked into it, but it can't be used. But again, that seems like something he's hiding or keeping to himself. And then it only makes more sense that he wants to keep it to himself because he can't wear the stuff, but they would be able to. So he's like even more hush mode about it. And
just say there's no trust here.
Well, yeah, and that's my biggest fear. Is because it's like, oh, first of all, I thought it was hilarious. We formed a party to take down Lycagon. And because he's so used to soloing, he forgot to disassemble the party.
Right.
So because of that, we have Size Zero and Akane helping us fight a Colossi now.
Absolutely. And I was just like, this is probably a good decision because you would have died.
Well, I was more, first of all, I hate this a little bit.
Okay.
I hate the fact that Katsu reached out to both of them.
Me too. And they did not say, well, also, he didn't give us a timeline.
Okay. I'm hoping we do it now, because at first when they showed him Real World, I was like, okay, so we're about to switch to another game.
Right.
It's like, okay, got it. But then when he sent the invite out to Pencilgon and Sunraku, I was like, yay, okay, let's do this for him.
Yeah.
We got it.
Because he's done a lot for them.
Sure.
He's helped those two out a lot.
And they were just like, again, just shows their demeanor. They're like, he would always big.
You know? I know. He was like, should we do this? What you think?
He was concerned too. He was like, I don't want to ask them.
He said, out of all the people, like, I don't want to ask these ones. And I was like, that makes sense. Because they're menaces to society. So I was disappointed because I was like, y'all should actually show up for him in this way.
Right.
I was like, y'all really should.
Sunraku was like, I got things to do. And I'm just like...
He was like, no, you don't.
And I'm just hoping, like you said.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're doing this Colossi battle before his event. Like, we need to be there.
Because also, I mean, look, if Katsu had asked them, like, the day before, I'm like, hey, you shouldn't expect them to drop everything. That doesn't make any sense. But I'm like, he literally got the email, and that same day he went into the game.
Right.
So I'm hoping that he has some wherewithal and he does not, that he doesn't decline him. But then I get worried because then we get a time. Because now we get a time frame for how long it takes for us to defeat the cartridge or whatever this thing. We get 170 some hours.
See, my thing
was, but even he admitted it. He was like, they can't expect us to be in here for 170 hours.
Well, I was just hoping we found out how to do the event.
Yeah, and then we go back.
Right.
Because we've already been playing nonstop for a couple of days.
So that's why I was like, okay. Now, some interesting stuff. I saw that extended thing. I was like, okay, he's extended. Tell me more.
Which was kind of confused to me because I'm like, is 99 is the cap?
See, I took it as one of those things.
I was like, that's kind of lame. I was like, considering how expansive this world is, I was like, 99 is your level cap?
See, and I just took it when they said extend, it's like, instead of going past it, it's almost like when you reach that level and extend, once you hit the extend plus, it's like, now your level starts. You've already reached that summit and now you continue on. Because even Cyber Zero was just like, he's already extend and he's only been playing yada yada yada, and I've been playing this long. And we found out about that Arcarium event. And it's once you hit level 99,
it just randomly shows up.
The card we choose was the Fool,
which was a bad card.
He thought it was good.
Well, yeah, because he's a fool. Yes.
I mean, your time is half, but the duration effects and damage caused by them is doubled. Plus, healing items success isn't 100%. That's the only thing I didn't like. So you're not guaranteed if you try to heal to be healed. Your duration for status negative effects are going to be doubled. I was like, there were some parts of it I was just like, I am not a fan.
I was like, this isn't a good card. This isn't a good pool. I wasn't excited.
But they make it sound like it's inevitable. Like your card's kind of already chosen for you for the most part.
I suppose.
And then we start seeing some of the other effects. Katsu got back to, had to go back training because of that one item he used, losing levels.
Yeah, he lost like what, over 20 something levels?
Yep, he lost 20 levels, and now he's back to level 53. So he's already behind anyway.
Right.
So I'm like, dude, Katsu, let's pick this up. We gotta, get the moving. He did, while training, he does meet a rare enemy, a crayfish. The Life Stride Destropster. It's like destroy with lobster connected. So I'm like, okay, maybe if you find a few of those. Because, we found the crystal scorpions. That's how we were leveling up.
That's true.
Maybe this crayfish is how you're going to level up. Like, let's keep this moving. Pencilgon was making moves. And I was just like, okay. And back to the real world. That's when we found out the Shade was defeated. And then they went ahead and said, this is when I was like, oh, this game is long. This game is huge. Because they straight up said the Lycagon Shade being defeated is the equivalent to a prologue of the story. I was like, wow. It's like, okay. I also want to play this game. Like, this game needs to be out.
Well, yeah, because remember, they're getting ready to launch a whole new map of the world.
A whole nother update?
Yeah, they have to do an update, and that's why everybody's all congregating at the 50th city.
But yeah, I mean, we get the.
Or is it 15 Shia? Or is it 15? I'm not sure.
Okay. And we already talked about how he never disbanded the party, but I mean, feather to their cap. It sucks that Akane had ran into the sig room, and now she's got the marks on her face.
Yeah.
And
I wonder if Tiger Zero is going to get a mark from this one.
I'm more curious about
because no one else is run into this one.
Right. Well, I mean, no one's defeated it.
Well, yeah.
Because they said people ran into it, but to me, it's like I know what their clan is meant to go after Lycagon.
Yeah, it's the whole mascot.
Would this be Psyker Zero's first Colossi if she helps defeat it? Because, and I guess you could count defeating the Shade. I don't count defeating the Shade as them defeating that Colossi.
No, they didn't.
Right. So, because of that, I got one who's I guess we got the answer to our question. No. Because the world, remember, they broke out that Weathermon was the first Colossi defeated. So, that would be cool if Psyker Zero's a part of this. And what's taking so long with this? Like, this duration, she's still weak from using her special. It's like, geez, log out. Like,
well, no, I mean, listen, she couldn't. She over here, look, they were all trying to live their lives, getting ready to leave the game, and then bam, because he even thought of it too. He was like, hey, I didn't expect us to jump immediately into the quest. Like, normally they ask if you want to take it on, and they just immediately put it in there. But I'm just like, is it because they haven't completed the update that made, because he even mentioned it, he said, why is it glitching? He's like, I've never had this game glitch on me before. Right? So I feel like that might be it. But, so yeah, I understand as to why she hasn't recovered from it. Because we were just doing one thing, and then she was getting ready to, like, prepare her stuff for the upcoming battle.
I don't know.
At the guild.
Because remember, when she was with the clan, they were preparing for her to go ahead and help them go after Lycagon.
Right, and so she didn't have a chance to, like, restock on her potions and all that. That's what she was supposed to be doing.
Oh, okay.
So
I just figured she wasn't going to be much of a help to begin with.
I mean, that could be it, too. Also, I am annoyed because I think I saw it a couple of times. Is his HP literally only at 80?
It doesn't look like high HP.
It doesn't. And I'm like, you're at 80. I'm like, you're at level 90? I was like, of course you're dying.
It's definitely...
I'm really confused. Or is this the cause from the full card?
It's definitely...
Because his life can't be that small.
Well, I just figured he's just like a glass cannon. You know, quick action. That's why, like, even when he was fighting Weathermon, he was like, X amount of attacks and I'm done. So it's like, to me, I don't think he worries. And that's how some gamers are. Like, some might worry about dexterity. Some might worry about speed. It seems like he's focused mainly on attack. He can care less about HP.
I mean, he gonna need it if he gonna keep carrying on.
But it seems I think. Well, if that's your thought, I think you're wrong too, because he was seeing how much MP the robots drain. So I think the next stuff he's gonna be working on is his MP. And again, HP is just gonna take a back seat.
He don't got his priorities together. I mean, look, he now knows the full in real time that he really can't just heal himself.
Yeah.
So he does need to spend time working on increasing his HP. He needs to.
No, the only thing I thought was interesting, it says healing items do not have 100% success rate. That doesn't mean anything about healing magic. So his logic might just be having a male heal him. And then he doesn't have to worry about healing items. Not always being successful.
That's a thought. We'll see.
But so, yeah, I mean, it's a good show. It's strong. I mean, immediately the way I watch it, I definitely just treat it as solo leveling and Shangri-La are my, like, the back end for the stronger ones for this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good show.
It's a good show, yeah.
Some good shows out here. But those two are just...
There's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in this world. All the time.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome if he's about to... well, that's why I was wondering about that new intro. Because it's like, I was like, are those the avatars for the people in the real world at that company? Because I think if they take down the Abyss, they're coming for him. They're like, all right, this is it. This is enough.
Like, you're doing too much.
They're like, we're not about to have this trash gamer go ahead and take down our big utopia, you know. Oh, yeah, that's the name of the company. That we're not going to have him take us down as he's rushing through this game, you know, after we put all this time and effort into it. Like, this
that's also a thought. But also at the same time, I don't think they're worried.
That's true. Now, the only thing I had a problem with is who are these two real life people that they showed their real life form and then I guess a gaming form. I was just like, are they from another game? Are they not those three, but maybe some type of higher ups that they have as like game killers to put it into it? And it's just a lot. I need to know who these 5 new looking people were before they showed a whale. That's all I want to know.
I mean, listen. Who knows? We're getting ready to do a new drop, a new update. I don't think they're worried about the Colossi thing. I don't think they're worried about the Cartonid because they already have the notification that it's gone off.
Well, not to mention, there's 2 Colossi that we have no information on.
No information on, absolutely.
And that could just be the coming time with the new updates.
Right.
So yeah.
So
they're safe.
I think so, because that's a thought, because it's like 4 of them, well, yeah, technically 4 of the Colossi have been found in the first installment of the game. So, yeah. We got Weathermon, Lycagon, Sigrum, and Cartonid.
And the Echo.
I'm just saying that we've seen on screen.
I mean, when the professor was giving the example,
all right, I guess so. Okay, well, fine.
Orchestra
5 of the 7 are.
We know of 5 of the 7, and the last 2, there is literally no information that even the library doesn't know.
Right. All right.
But no, that's Shangri-La. It's great.
Good show. A lot is going down.